Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to make this little guy, which is a cell phone stand made out of a coffee sleeve. So I'm a big coffee guy, and I go to a lot of coffee shops, and then, after you're done with your coffee, you'll usually have a sleeve that your coffee came with. And, one day I was kind of like, well, shoot, I needed a stand because, I guess didn't have one for my office desk. And so I was like, this shape is kind of like, it kind of fit. It kind of makes sense that I could use this as a cell phone stand. It's kind of cheap. You have it around, and if you go to coffee shops enough, then you'll always have one around. So I thought, what a great idea! Make a little cell phone stand out of it. So this is it. This is one of the first cell phone stands made out of a coffee sleeve. So just to kind of go over what this thing can do, it's kind of meant to hold your phone horizontally, especially if you have a larger phone. This is an iPhone 6s Plus, so it's a pretty big phone. The good thing about this stand is you can hold it horizontal. You can also hold it vertical, and it'll still work. And it'll hold it horizontal, and it'll do it just fine. And you can still, hit buttons on the phone and different things like that, and it's totally fine. It totally works. No big deal. So yeah, it's not super stable, but come on, this is a coffee sleeve after all. So let me walk you through how I made this. So I'm going to start with I'm going to move this over to the side. I'm going to start with a coffee sleeve. So it's pretty simple. All right, so we're trying to make this. So the first thing I do here is I'm going to fold it in half. And if you've ever done origami, then you'll know kind of the importance of kind of creating a good crease here, and that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go ahead and just crease the front. And the reason why I'm going to crease the front, and also I'm going to crease the back. And so the reason why I want to do that is you can kind of see this kind of goes and creates a square. And it creates a square like this because when you put the cell phone on it, this actually will fold back, and it'll fold back along the natural perforation on this kind of sleeve. So that's kind of the reason. And so I make a nice clean crease here, and so that's kind of the start of it. And next what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to go ahead and try to cut the front part of this down here so that I can create this lip in the front. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that here. So I do this with a pocket knife. You can do this with scissors. It's not too big of a deal. It does matter how thick of a tab you cut in front here, because that'll determine how flexible it can be. So if this tab is too big, then this won't be able to flex back as much, and it won't be able to hold as long of a phone like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut this. And as I said, you can cut this with a scissor. I carry a pocket knife around, so that's why you'll kind of see me do this with a pocket knife. So I probably cut about to the point where there's maybe like 3/4 of an inch from the bottom. So it kind of looks like that. And that's where we're going to start. You don't need to cut any more after that. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to rip the perforations just with my fingers down to the second connection. So you see how these are perforated at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I leave the last 2 so it's still kind of stable. I'll do the same on the other side, 1, 2, 3. So you still have the 4 and 5 perforation. They're still there. So next thing I'm going to do is I just fold. So I fold this lip that we just cut here, and I fold it so that it just meets the bottom. So you can kind of see it's just folded so that it basically is just square with the bottom. You kind of want to get this square with the crease that you made, which is kind of why having a crease is having a good crease there is important. Kind of see that we created this little nub here. And then next we're going to go ahead and fold. And so we're going to fold along, we're going to fold these edges along the this fourth perforation that's still connected here. And what you want is you actually want it to be sloped. So you want this to slope downwards from the front tip. And so that's what we're going to do. And we're going to fold that like so. And so you can start from the fourth perforation and you're going to fold up. So the cut that I made is a little bit long, but it's okay. It doesn't really matter. You can, make a more exacting cut so that there's not an extra lip here, but it's totally fine. won't affect things too much. And so next I'm going to fold the other side. Try to get it even. So if you fold it like right there on this side, then you're going to try to do the same here. And that's what I'm going to do. And so yeah, it just needs to be a little bit like a slight curve down, like that usually makes it a little bit better. It'll hold the phone better and the phone will rest against the back. So that's what we have. We can see it's mostly done. The last part is just folding these ears here. And I fold these ears so that it just doesn't bend back like this. So it doesn't bend back when you put the cell phone on it. It just kind of makes it look a little bit more clean. That's all. It's nothing, that doesn't really do anything, structurally or anything like that. So I'm going to do that. And that's it. And so that is how you make it, and you can kind of test it out here. So when you place your cell phone down, it holds it fine, and also when you put the cell phone vertically, it holds it, and that's kind of the reason why you have the tab that's like this. So the cool thing about this is that this thing actually stretches out. It stretches out when you're holding a longer cell phone, and it holds it against the back, and so you can kind of see it's like that. It holds it like that, or just kind of holds it horizontal, which is kind of the normal way for it to be working. That's pretty much it. So that's how you make this coffee sleeve cell phone holder. Thanks for watching, guys.